Yeah, let me get this clip right now.
Can you answer the question? Like, this conversation is not one that...
Can you let me finish?
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Blackbird 91. We are talking to you guys about Put a Ring in It. And it seems that Kenneth has once again shown his hand. Not only has he shown his hand, he's actually shown to be an aggressor, to be aggressive, and to show that he cannot be trusted in a relationship with Shorty. The behavior we saw on this episode is enough. I mean, we saw some earlier on in the season, which I said she should have got out immediately as soon as he was take photos of his bank statements. But we are now here where we're seeing some aggressive behavior right in front of our face on camera. It cannot be denied, and no one can say that I was manipulated into this or you did this, that's why I'm doing this. You chose this behavior. Therefore, there is a consequence that must happen to your behavior. Now I must take into stock everything you've done because you've shown your hand. And there is no excuse now. There is no she's a liar. There is no she's a manipulator. There is no she riled me up. There is no none of that nonsense. What we saw from yourself was a little bit aggressive. I mean, it wasn't the worst of behaviors, but the very fact that everything that you've ever felt with animosity came out in that moment is a very scary thing, which is why I said good guys versus nice guys. You never want it. The nice guy will bottle up everything and then hit you with everything he has. I'm not saying that Shorty hasn't done anything to rile him up, but I am saying that enough's enough, Kenneth, right? Enough's enough. Your bag is packed. It's time to go. You don't look back, okay? You don't try to turn back. You don't come back. It's done. It's finished. It's over. Let it go, right? Let it go. I know you may think that, pursuing is cute, but it's not. Okay, we're going to break it down on this episode as well and give you our thoughts and our sentiments around this episode and Kenneth's behavior as well. So if you're new to this channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notifications of the uploads. And for those of you who are returnees, you already know what it is, baby. You got the minerals. All right, cool. Before we go any further, let's play a little intro. We'll get the show going. Little Black, you know what time it is. 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 Yes. Hey, we are talking to you guys about Put a Ring on It, and we're talking about episode 10. I put episode 9, but it actually is episode 10, so I do apologize for that, guys. Yes, there has been obviously some craziness that we've seen on this episode, and Kenneth showed his hand totally in two different sections. I've been holding Shorty accountable for most of the season in terms of her behavior and what she needs to work on. But Kenneth, now we have to really hold you accountable, right? Because your anger is a problem. Your frustrations are a problem. Your annoyances are a problem, right?
Okay.
What other questions you got that you want out of the relationship?
Okay, so don't get mad. But I want to stay on this topic, right?
All right, stay on this topic.
Now, when they were talking about this subject, what she wanted to know was, what's the plan? I've heard the plan. I've heard you say about, I'm going to do this, going to do that. But what's the plan now? Show me some of these. Show me some of the plans that you're saying you have. Show me evidence of this plan that you said you have. Let me see it. Because evidently you've been talking quite a bit previously and there hasn't been much action. It's the mere fact that you've had a year or so or more to try and get your credit sorted and you didn't do it meant you lost credibility and you lost trust in your partner, or your partner lost trust in you to do something. You've had time to sort it out and you haven't, right? And so, unfortunately, now you're in a situation where you just saying, I'm going to sort this out isn't enough, right? isn't enough. You saying you're going to sort it out is not enough. We need to see a plan that's concrete. I need to see some wood. I need to see some laying down of wood. I need to see some of the foundations being laid. I actually need to see physical evidence. I need to start seeing some evidence of what you said you're going to do. How are you going to do this thing?
I want from me is like, I heard all the what I'm going to do, right? But like, what does it actually look like to get there? That's what I want to know. That's what I need in order to get across that finish line.
I'm making all in.
Now, at that point, when she asked you this question, simply put, if you have a plan, you should tell her. Right? Simply put, if you have a plan, you should tell her. Right? If you don't have a plan, be honest again. I don't have a plan. But then it may have a consequence, you being honest. The fact is, you may lose this woman when you say you don't have a plan. Now, here is the thing. You wanting to not lose this woman is causing you to make movements that are now going to be seen and deemed as abusive, controlling, manipulative, right? So I'm looking at you and I'm going, bro, you are showing us that you don't have the maturity to lead in this relationship, even though you're saying you do. You are not showing us any leadership qualities at this particular time and moment. Thus, why should she follow you? You're absolutely right. She is much older than you. Therefore, she's going to need a certain level. Right?
Necessary. Just let me finish before you get defensive. Let me just finish.
I didn't say anything.
All right. I just want you to be there just to comfort me. I just want to be able to see those pretty eyes.
Now, no problem at all. Again, Sally, he actually has a job. I know that she's tried to make it. See, the mere fact that everyone is assuming that is because Shorty has put that across. He has a job. He actually does have a job. He actually brings income to the household. You'll see it. Trust me, he has a job. Like, but I understand why you're saying that, because Shorty has made it seem that way. That's something she's gonna have to work on, right? And you'll see what I mean by that. That's something she's gonna have to work on, because she's made it seem as if he doesn't work. He does work. He does earn money. He does have finance and income. The money situation is gonna be really interesting when you actually deep what's happened. But the true point of this is, there is a disconnect between the two of them. He's got controlling issues due to his insecurities, and that is frying the relationship between the two of them. Instead of answering the question about, your plan, he doesn't answer it. He'd rather want to scoot around it. He want to get angry. He want to get annoyed. And if your response is to get annoyed every single time we answer a question about how do we go forward, right, then we have an issue. Right? Then we have an issue.
In the evening time when I'm dealing with a stressful ass world out here and I gotta fight the man. I just want to be able to come and just know I got a woman that has my back and just willing to console and just love me and can I come do this?
Now, I'm all down for a man coming home, having peace in his home. I want the same thing, you know what I mean? And I always say this as well. Women, that's what us men want. Us men want to come home and feel peace, clearly. But in order also to have peace, there must be war. In order for there to be peace, there must be war. And, Solomon was able to have peace because he was wise, but only because his father had fought wars before him. Peace is not by peace is not taken by you just standing there saying, I want peace. Peace is taken by war. There is often peace after war is had. Even Jesus himself had to shed blood on a cross before there was peace. My friend, there is always going to be some warfare before the peace. There's always going to be, right? So you say you want peace at your home, then there should be war in the battlefield. You should be working hard. You should be having a plan, right? You should be having a direction, a goal, and laying it down so we can see it, because that's what she's asking for, right? That's what she's asking for.
What we came here to do some cuddling. I can I don't need too much. I'm simple, baby. I'm trying to tell you.
So you're gonna pay all the bills
All
and
the
do
bills.
all the cooking,
All the cooking.
and domestic, and then you're just gonna be happy.
And what she's saying right there is literally the stuff that I'm talking about with Kenneth. So when she says, "Oh, you're gonna do all the cooking, you're gonna do all the cleaning," I mean, you're gonna do all the cooking, you're gonna pay all the bills, he's not even thinking. All he wants to do is shut her up, right? All it has to be is, all his answer is a shut up. It's not a real answer. His answer is literally just to shut her up and be like, "Look, you know what, fam? I'm gonna pay all the bills. I'm gonna cook all the cooking. I'm gonna pretty much clean everything. I'm gonna do everything that you want. I'm gonna do everything that you need." Nah, you ain't. And if you really were mature, that wouldn't be an answer you'd come up with. If you were really mature, that's not the answer you'd come up with. Do you understand? If you were really deeping the answer you're giving, that would not be the answer that came out of your mouth. But you're not thinking. You're just trying to save the relationship at all costs, even if it means costing you.
We're gonna be happy.
Hey,
this
listen,
to me sounds like fantasy.
This
talk.
ain't no fantasy
We're
talk.
not getting to the meat of things.
This is real.
Like, I'm looking for actual plan. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because what I feel like we've had this whole time is,
all it is she's looking for a plan. It's that simple, a plan. That's all. Right? That's all we're looking for, a plan. So, sir, we need you to get to the bone of this stuff and present this plan. But he can't, because he doesn't have one. And instead of him to even take time and go and think about having a plan, he doesn't do that. Right? Instead of actually going and thinking of a plan, instead, right? Instead, what we get is him trying to fantasize. Interesting. Right? Interesting. Let's fast forward it a little bit. Let's fast forward it a little bit. Yeah,
does it feel forced to you? Be honest.
Nah, because I don't do nothing I don't want to do.
Sometimes I feel like you're a puzzle piece from one box, and I'm a puzzle piece from a whole different box.
That's cool.
And unfortunately, what's wrong with Kenneth? Like, she's actually letting him know that we're in two different spectrums. We're not on the same. We're not on the same. We're not in the same wavelength. We're not in the same box. We're not in the same mindset. We're not actually on the same level. Not in the sense of I'm above you, but in the sense of we're thinking completely differently. And that's fine, but we need to go our separate ways. That's basically what she's really saying. And what he's doing is when someone feels like they are literally batting above their league, he's trying to hold on to something beyond its time. It has reached its expiration date, but he's holding on. Right? You're holding on for what? Right? You're holding on for what? You're holding on to the situation, onto Shorty for what? Because you praise her too highly, number one. Number two, you're insecure about your own position, and the woman has become your success rather than you having success outside of a woman. You need to have your own success. Right?
That's what people don't meet together and be perfect and things. They got everything in common and stuff like that. People make adjustments.
I just don't want to force.
And listen, that's fine too. People do need to make adjustments. But 3 years in, sir, we should be concreted. 3 years in, we should be concreted, sir. We should not be still going over juvenile stuff, man.
So our last position is just going.
Sorry, let me just.
Things, nothing ever adds up, it seems.
There you go.
Ken's biggest flaw as a partner is just.
Blood, I did not realize how tiny she was. I know Shorty was short, but damn, Shorty's short. Shorty is really short. I didn't even deep that she's really, really short. How is he hugging her from his knees? I just need to know that. He's hugging her from his knees. Look, you know, I think, I again, and do you know what is really interesting? Like, you know, when we say about having a plan, what's really interesting is oftentimes having a plan only ever comes up in conversation when the person is not on their path already, right? When somebody's not already on their path, that's when the question often comes up, what is the plan? When a man is already on his journey, on his path, on his particular um you know, lane, you don't really ask what's the plan because you can already see the plan in motion. The question of about what is a plan oftentimes comes up when people do not have what they're supposed to have. They're not in motion. Hmm? The problem with old boy here is that he's too comfortable in this scenario, and it doesn't shake him enough to let him know I need to change. Right? It's a problem because when you really deep it, he's comfortable in this situation because it gives him a level of security enough so that he does not strive for what he's supposed to strive for. I've said this before. Some of us men and women need a good heartbreak. Some of you need a good heartbreak, right? Some of you need a good heartbreak because a heartbreak will send you to a place of saying, I'm not going to stay here, right? I'm not going to stay here. I'm going to go. I'm gonna achieve big things. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do this. Some of you need a good heartbreak to wake you up from the matrix. You are living in a fantasy realm. Some of you, you're really living in a fantasy world. Do you know what I'm saying? So for Kenneth, he's one of those men who needs a wake up call quick. Right? Wake up call. Right? So until he has this wake up call, he's going to continue doing what he's done previously because it worked. What he's been doing previously with Shorty has worked. And sometimes, like I said this, you need to train people how to treat you. And in this case, the standard is above him, and he needs to obviously rise up to the standard, but he can't do it. You know, because he's been put into a place where he's comfortable. Someone said, obviously, heartbreak, you know. I'm all heartbreaked out. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. A good heartbreak. Yes, a good heartbreak. Some of you need a good heartbreak. It is the one that resets your whole entire life. Some of you need it. Not all of you. Some of you need it because without it, you will not wake up. Without it, you will not wake up. You are coasting along, living in dreamland, living in a fantasy dream. And when you have that heartbreak, it shakes you and wakes you up career-wise, marital wise. Do I need therapy? What's wrong with me? It shakes you up to think. If it's not shaking you and ringing bells in your head to think, yo, I don't want to go through that again. I need to start thinking, what can I change? What can be different the next time? Then maybe you need another one. You should be waking up. That's what the first love that you have usually wakes you up. That life is not that simple. Relationships are not that simple. Relationships are not that smooth. You know? So, you know, it's a wake-up call. You know what I'm saying? A wake-up call. You know, so yeah. Everybody need a little wake-up call. Her level is thinking she's better. Depends on what your barometer of measure is. If it's money, then you are doomed for failure. I hear what you're saying. You know, again, I've spoken much about Shorty already, so I don't want to go too much into Shorty today because I've already spoken heavily about what I believe she needs to work on, and in order to so that next relationship is fruitful. But today, Kenneth is gonna get it. Kenneth gonna get it all. Kenneth gonna get it all because the behavior was shamboozle. The behavior was shamboozle. Oh my days. Right? Now, the biggest thing for me, the biggest is here. Is this part here.
His mood and also in his body language. Things are about to get really, really, really hectic, I can tell. You really gotta chill out.
I ain't no chilling.
The moment he started drinking and she said, you need to chill, and he said, I ain't going to chill, I said, this is going to be bad vibes. I said, this is going to be bad. It's going to be bad. This is going to be a problem. You know, this is going to be a difficulty. right? Because what we're gonna see, because whenever you start seeing people drinking the way he was drinking it, even before even said anything, you can tell already it's not looking good, right? It's really not looking good, you know. So I was like, this guy's drinking, you know, he's putting alcohol into his system. I said, I don't like where this is going. You know what I mean? I don't like where this is going, that he's drinking like this. This before even anything I saw, right? And then when the first slur came out, I said, oh my gosh, we're in dangerous territory. We are in dangerous territory.
Though after that, because she can't handle the truth. But once again, I'm prepared for it. It ain't nothing new. Maybe try.
Now, when he started eating the chicken wings, I knew it was going to be long. I'm not even trying to banter. When I saw him having drink and then eating the chicken wings, I knew it was going to be a long thing for that day. I knew that moment, it's going to be long, right? It's going to be so long for this conversation. It's not going to go well, right? It's not going to go well, right? And it's just that it set the overall mood, right? There was an overall mood that was happening. Listen, Shorty does not earn that much more than him. Only recently started earning more than him. Trust me, she does not, right? So they were equally yoked financially. The difficulty is the maturity, right? The maturity. How do you handle your situations? How do you handle your relationship? Maturity, emotional maturity. Yeah. Okay.
It almost tastes as good as something you don't do.
That was the first one. Okay. First one, he went in, right? So now he's about to lose the plot. He's about to lose the plot. Right? He's about to lose the plot. Now, here's the problem. Yeah. And this is why I said about moments like this they're often different for men than they are for women. Okay. I talk about that we're not equal, we are equitable, and this moment is part of what I'm talking about. The moment he starts to drink, eat a chicken wing, and then he makes a comment, right? I'm scared for Shorty because this is the slippery slope that ends in. Sorry if I should put a trigger warning. Apologies, guys. Anybody who's gone through DV, I do apologize. Trigger warning. We're going to talk a little bit about domestic violence. So apologies. Right? The situation here, right? When he started that first car, something you don't do, I said, oh, this is going to be bad. Now we really are. This is going to be bad. And my fear is that with men and women, when we are getting into that space, that can quickly turn to quickly turn into a physical thing. I'm not saying that he actually did. No. But I don't think he's ever done that before because she's never said it. But what I'm saying is I was getting scared for her physical safety because there was a lot of movement happening. As a man, if Kenneth is doing what he's doing, we're gonna be ready with hands. Right? So as a man, you're going to be ready with hands. The way he was moving just with the drink and the chicken wing, it was like a supervillain that goes, you know, oh, I'm just eating my food here, and then suddenly attack, right? Oh, no, we're cool. Don't worry about that. We out here, and then suddenly attacks, which is why I was looking at and I was like, whoa, like, yo, this is not a good place to be right now, right? This is not a good place to be. I don't like where this is going. Okay.
What's down?
See that point there? Hold on. The way he sat down and he said, what's happening? You can tell the drink has already started. It's already, the poison has already started moving through the system. Do you see what I'm saying? You know, if I see a man holding a chicken wing and drinking, yeah, you should. You should if he's walking up and down the way he was. The way he was walking up and down, the way he was drinking, my senses are already heightened. This guy's on something. I gotta be ready. I gotta be ready. Do you know what I'm saying? Right? The way he drank, the way he even sat down and said what he just said, what's happening. You can tell that he's in that space. Anything could happen. And that's what I'm saying to you. Like, I am not looking at it from a I'm not feeling this energy right now.
Just me as a man right now, who I am. I'm thinking about me. Marriage is the last thing I need. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. If marriage is the last thing that you need, marriage is the last thing you need, bro. You're about to say something that you're not going to take back. You're about to say something that you shouldn't say. Listen, I'll be honest with you, bro. Where you're going is going to look a bit mad. It's going to be a bit mad. Where you're going next to, it's a bit mad. Okay, cool.
Especially with a woman like you. I feel like a fool of a man. I've been so dedicated and willing and to do anything.
Now, again, this is his truth, and I love it. I love the fact that it's your truth. Your timing of this truth, how it was delivered, is a problem for me. You're drinking, you're intoxicated, you're feeling some type of way, and then you're dropping these truth bombs, right? Then you're dropping these truth bombs, and it's a problem, right? It's a problem now because actually you're not even telling the story in your truth, in your soberness. You're telling this when you've drunk a little bit. And also now your movements are a little bit more different than what it would be if you were sober. You put the person on edge instantly. You've got to be very careful. You right? So yeah, he was ready to go. He was ready for something. He was ready to go. He was ready for something. He was ready for anything. Any spark she gave him, she was ready to go. And notice, even at this point, Shorty hasn't said anything, and already he dropped 2 cusses. Right? Shorty hasn't said anything. He dropped 2 cusses. I would,
Thing and to sacrifice this woman is unappreciative. Everything is a problem. As a man, that don't make me feel good at all. But as a man, I know I have a voice to stand up and say how I feel and what.
Lovely. I love the fact you'll stand up for yourself to tell her how you feel. And I'm not doubting that there has been some verbal tirades. I would even say, it was the way she was talking. I said already, I don't believe that she spoke that she spoke kindly to you at times. I think she was verbally almost I wouldn't say abusive, but I'll say we could almost say that, but she was verbally sparring you at several points and really throwing some jabs. Right. And so I definitely hear that. But now, sir, we're in a position where it's looking a bit suspect. Whatever you say now in your drunken state could be interpreted differently, wrongly, inappropriately. Now your movements are looking very off, and we have to really consider it. Is this girl is she safe? I know the cameras are there, but if anything happens, is she safe? Oh crap, sorry. I just went off the thing. Apologies, I'll get it back there. I love this point here, 33.
I'm on this bitch and told everybody in the world how you feel for me. Girl, you ungrateful as the
It's interesting to hear Kenneth boldly bashing me the way that he is, because that's not typical Kenneth. But
so as she said there, she said that's typical Kenneth, right? This is not typical Kenneth. And what she means by that is he holds a lot of whatever he's thinking in to try and pave over the cracks to make it seem beautiful. The problem is here with Kenneth is that he's tried to make the world beautiful when it's not beautiful. The problem here with Kenneth is he tried to make the world feel nice when it's not really nice. The problem here with Kenneth is he's tried to make this seem like, do you know what? Everything that's happened here in our relationship, it's beautiful, it's lovely, it's roses. And then when the truth actually comes about, when you're actually not feeling that particular type of way, everything you've ever felt comes out at once. This is called pile-on. When you pile up issues that you have and it comes out all in one go. Right? So in his place now, he's tried to say whatever he's felt like saying in this moment. I hear it, I get it. But like I said, with a drinking in your hand, it don't look right. Right? But I understand his point.
Seeing him drinking makes me think that maybe some of that liquid courage is what has him losing his mind right now.
You got me up.
You see what I'm saying? You say you got me effed up, and you make this laugh at the end of it as well. Bro, he's giving Joker vibes right now. He's giving Joker from Gotham vibes right now. Girl, you got me effed up. You got me. Bruv, you're giving Joker vibes right now. And that's what's concerning me the most. I'm telling you again, seeing this situation, I'm like, whoa. There is now looking at I'm now looking at a person like, yo, at any moment, it could be random behavior from him. You can't actually decipher what you're going to get from him. Right? You don't know what you're going to get from him. You don't know what you're going to get from him. Someone said, Shorty is, for those of you who said Shorty is toxic, it's preposterous. She not curse him. She told him how she felt. Since I cut down to people who aren't handling their business. No, Shorty's got some toxicness. No. Shorty has. Because of the way that she deals with some of the situations. I saw that. Right? The way she dealt with some of the situations. Now, she didn't deal with it in this situation. She wasn't. But in previous things we've seen, she has. Right? Yeah. Bro, he was laughing like it was Joker. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, you do. And be honest with you, you wasn't even my flavor. I lost myself, man. People that know me, they be like, boy, you out your damn mind. What the hell wrong with you?
We're on pretty much the third time Shorty hasn't spoken, and he's already dropped another bomb of insult, right? Or at least another tirade towards her. She hasn't replied, you know. He hasn't replied, you know. Hasn't replied, you know. Hasn't replied. Right? And you can see what he's saying. Now he's trying to hurt. Of course, listen, I think part of this is obviously him trying to get her back, right? Let's be honest. He's had some jabs thrown at him, you know, the past week at least, or past 2 weeks or whatever on the show. Let's be honest. He's had some jabs thrown at him. He's had some words come at him. So he's trying to get her back. He's trying to get her back. But the way he's even doing it, it never works exactly the same. When men and women do this particular behavior, it does look different when it's a woman to a man because of the and in this particular instance, it's the unpredictability. It is the drinking that's going alongside of it with the chicken wing that you're eating. Fam, I'm concerned. Okay, all right, that's what I'm concerned about. You know what I mean? That's the part I'm concerned about. Now all of a sudden she wasn't your flavor and your type. Well, we actually knew that, but why now you're bringing it up? Because you're trying to hurt her.
Take back. Come back. We know you, boy. And my thing is, I gotta stop making this seem like you give a. You don't. You weak.
I actually don't think he was saying she's weak. I think he was saying to himself that he's weak. I think he was talking about what his friends had said to him and how he was viewing him and saying that this is not his scope and spec. And he's saying you're weak. Well, then again, it doesn't really matter whether he was saying it. He said it to her face like that. You're weak. Imagine that, you know. Imagine that, you know. Imagine that, bro. Imagine that. Imagine in that moment, bro. Listen, you're coming at me saying you're weak, and I know you've been drinking too. I'm now looking. That's why I said to you that the situation now is a red alert. Now it's not a normal situation because first of all he's drinking, he's eating chicken wing, and he's now coming at me. I haven't said anything for the last 3 or 4 times he's been speaking, and he's still going without any provocation. He's still going. Maria, he's not a bum. He actually has a job. And the job was paying more than hers at the beginning. She just only started earning more than him. So he's not actually a bum. But I agree. There are lots of his behaviors that I would class as abusive, unfortunately. But it is not And he's not a bum. He actually has a job. He's working quite well, actually. So, so honestly, there's a red alert now, right? So let's watch a bit more.
Never settle for that. You might think I'm talking and babbling on, but this is me real.
You should go pack your stuff up so you can go ahead and get up out of here, because I'm feeling the same way that you're feeling. I'm not.
So now she finally comes out. Now she finally comes out and says her piece. She's happy because actually what she's really saying is, I'm so glad you got that out. I'm so happy you managed to say what you wanted to say, because there's a door. I've been waiting. This is the door that I've been waiting for. Now you can pack your bags. Now that you're fed up and you're annoyed, you can go and pack your bags. This is what I planned all along. I thank you. You're right. I'm not your flavor. I've never been your flavor. You're weak. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I need you out the door now. Bye-bye. Thank you. Don't let the door hit you out on the way out. Like, that's what she's basically saying.
Feeling you. So, no, I don't have more patience than 3 years to wait on a man to get his stuff together. Quite frankly, I've always known that you felt like this, and it's sad that it took you all this time to...
Listen. Sorry about that. And you know what? What's interesting also is the fact that she said, I knew you felt like this, right? Because I could see that you were holding on to all this that you felt, resentment, anger, pain. You were holding all onto it and then bottling up. You weren't saying anything. You were trying to keep a perfect image of a relationship. And really how you felt has come out all in this moment. Thank you for telling me, and thank you for exiting out. You know where the door is. Thank you. By all means, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. You know where the door is. Don't let it hit you on the way out. You know where the door is.
I'll take it
Cut
all
the bull. That's your scapegoat right now. Because you do this all the mother time, and guess what? I'll be right back on amongst yourself.
No,
now,
you
shut
won't.
shut
Actually, you won't.
shut that bull.
Actually, this is the conversation.
Come on. Come on now. Come on. Bro, come on. Now you're being asked to go. You're saying, shut that bull crap up now. She's basically lying. Bro, you need to get out of there, bro. This relationship's not going to help you. It's not going to help you grow. Your friends can see that they're not growing, and now you are in a place where your behavior begins to intimidate or seemingly come across as aggressive to the woman that you even care about. Right? Problem. And because he's not been sharing what he feels, it has built up to this moment that you're even looking here at this point, and you are staring at this woman, and this woman that you're staring at is looking back at you, but you don't recognize who she is. You've not been recognizing her for the past few weeks being on the show.
Having right now.
Shut that bull.
We're actually having this conversation right now to wrap it up. Are we having an exit conversation right now?
Ain't no exit conversation. I'm just saying, why we got to
Are we agreeing that this is not working?
Now she's saying, are we having an exit conversation? He's saying, why we got to have an exit conversation? She said, we're not working. You can see that, right? She's just looking for the moment for him to exit by himself. Now, that could be because she was scared to leave because obviously what he's done in the past. It could also be the fact that as well, due to her seemingly lacking toxicity, she stayed around longer than she needed to. I think it's a bit of both. And I definitely feel there's definitely a fear factor because he's definitely gone to a business thing, whatever, her business page or whatever, or her business, what she's working for, their page, and potentially said some incriminating messages. But I also feel like there's a bit of a toxicity in there as well. So she's ready to get rid of him now. but he's going to change his energy when he realizes she ain't playing.
Working and we don't need to be together.
I said we ain't gonna be married.
We don't need to be together. Then I'm not going to continue to waste years and time out of my life.
Hey,
Yesterday, you was trying to get down on one knee.
My girl said yesterday you were trying to get down on one knee, and now look where we're at. Now look where we're at. Woof. Baby, listen. Man, it don't get no better, bro. It don't get no better. You know, that's how I know this guy was stressed.
I ain't felt so free and so blind. I caught that doing straight. I love you, my friend. We gonna be.
I love you, my friend. We're gonna be friends. We're gonna be best friends. This is the unpredictability I'm talking about. It is scary. The quick switch up, you know, a quick switch up happening at the moment is unnerving, right? It's unnerving. So this situation is getting out of hand for me, right? It's getting out of hand. There needs to be somebody sitting in a room as well, mediating between the two of them, whatever, because at the end of the day, the way he's behaving, bro, it quickly will descend into physical. The way he seems to be behaving here, it will quickly descend into physical. I'm so sorry. This looks like it's gonna escalate. The way that he's being so erratic.
The best of friends, though, I can reassure you that.
I am completely embarrassed by the way that Ken is carrying on right now with the pacing and drinking and joking.
I don't look at it and go, oh, it's innocent, like he's just drinking. I don't see it that way. Because as I said, for man and women, the rate that we're talking about in terms of DV, it's not even close between men and women, right? It's men to women that often are doing abuse, and men to men. So I am not looking at it in a form of, oh, he just drank and he told her his side. No. I'm looking at it going, look at the situation. Look how he's behaving erratically. This could easily descend into some madness. It could easily descend into some madness.
And being in my face after all this disrespect. You want to be friends. We're not going to be friends. You're embarrassing.
Bro. Ay. It's looking some way. Let's have a look at this.
I don't even know
That you came
how
on
we
this
got
bitch
here
and you talk
today.
all that for 6 weeks, and you gonna try to make it seem like it's some other nah, that.
Now we see the real Kenneth coming out. The moment she said, obviously, we're gonna be breaking up, blah blah. He's like, what? Breaking up? F that. You now the controlling is coming out. He's gonna leave though, but the controlling is coming out. He gonna tell her what's gonna happen, right? I don't mind leaving because when I leave, I know exactly what's gonna happen. I'm gonna come right back here. Now, of course, in relationships, many of us have been in those toxic relationships with our partners, and we know that, you know what, we break up, but we know we're gonna come back. We know they're gonna come back. We know we both gonna come back, right? But now that toxicity is getting to a point where it's looking dangerous, and he's literally telling her, you ain't going nowhere, basically. You ain't going nowhere.
If I'm a Gemini and they say we got multiple personalities, well, let me tell you something. I had them all fighting my ass last night, and this early this morning, they was like, Ken.
This is a lot, man. So I think we have to take into account the fact that even as he was leaving, he didn't finish his nonsense and shenanigans. And you know what? Mr. Kenneth is going to have to do some real deep soul searching. He's going to have to look deep within himself, because even when he was exiting, he didn't exit.
Your face.
Get all your stuff, because I don't want you
Don't worry.
acting.
I'm gonna grab my things.
Okay, Ken.
He's laughing again. As he's being kicked out, he's laughing again. That's my problem with him, man. You know, it's giving Joker vibes from Gotham. Honestly. It's giving Joker vibes from Blossom. And so now he's been kicked out. For me, I'm like looking at it like, bro, like, you need to really sit down and think about your actions. Right? You said she's not your flavor. You said she's weak. You know what? You said that you don't feel her really. You said your boys weren't really feeling her. You said so many different things in this moment. Bro, what now you need to do is back up, leave her alone, and heal. That's what you need to be doing.
Stop playing with life.
Your stuff is outside. You should follow.
My girl couldn't wait to pick. In fact, she even picked a suitcase. She gave him a suitcase and said, "Oh yeah, take your stuff and go. Take your stuff and go." Now, let's bring this to a rounding close. We know that from the moment episode 2 dropped, when she said that he took a photo of her bank statement, that'd have been it for me. Now, look, it's tough unless you like. Not everyone would leave at a drop of a hat, right? I know he took a photo of a bank statement. Not everyone would leave at a drop of a hat. Some of us would, some of us wouldn't, and I get that. But there was enough things that were happening that, you know what, are now a lesson to learn for anybody else that to watch. That certain behaviors of these men that we're talking about specifically, but men and women anyway, but this man specifically, have been present from the beginning. Number one, why are we dating such a young man? I know he's a liar. He's a liar, yes, indeed. But why are we dating someone so young? Number two, obviously, because he didn't have what he said he had, he's caused this mishap in his own relationship, and he refuses to take accountability for what he's contributed. Number three, Shorty's got her own problems because she also, too, is violent with her tongue. Number four, Kenneth, with his unpredictability of drinking and chicken wings. Okay, I'm joking about the chicken wings, by the way, but you know, with him and drinking, that's fear. That's instant fear gonna be put into the other person. You're unpredictable, and you are not gonna allow the person to leave the relationship. The second episode where she spoke to him was even the most obvious stuff, where she said, "Oh, you know, during their relationship, you know, he was a little bit insecure, and you know what, he's got rocked up to the workplace or whatever, all that kind of stuff, right? All that jazz." At that point, he's done. At that point, there is no relationship. All right. All we have is an abusive situation, or someone who's an abuser in a relationship. But we said this from earlier, right? Episode 2. But if you're going to stay in it, we're going to try and see how we can make it work. But he was abusive. From episode 2, we saw that. If you watch my very first, and this is so crazy, like I said this, the very first episode, I hadn't watched anything else but the very first episode. And the way he had his arm around her, I said, that looks a bit odd. That almost looks like it's a bit abusive. But I said, obviously, it's just me. Like, it's too early. It's the first time I've known them. I don't really know them too well. If you go and watch my very first video on it, you'll see it. That I spoke about it. I said, this looks a bit abusive. Like, it's got his arm around her. When I do my body language breakdowns, right? When I do my body language breakdowns, that's what I saw. And it's so interesting because if I didn't know this was going to be the case, I didn't know that was going to happen. I didn't know that, you know, he was going to be this abusive or whatever. But to see how his hand his arm alone made me feel uncomfortable. I was like, yo, like, I don't like it. I don't like the way he's done it. You know, so mm, it's not cool. It's not cool at all. So yeah, we gonna see. There's gonna be some more stuff that's gonna come out, I'm sure. But uh, yeah, there's a, you know, we're just glad that Shorty's got out. We're glad Shorty's got out. You know, there's nothing. Kenneth, I get it. Um, I get it. That you know, you might have felt some way about the way that Shorty's behaved towards you, but just because someone behaves that way towards you does not mean you get to also be abusive in the way that you move. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, no, that's not how we roll here. Disappointing, really, but it's honestly, like I said, it was scary to kind of see it, but for Shorty, she just needs to focus on herself now. She needs to focus on growing herself and actually as well making sure she doesn't fall into any toxicity herself as well. Because the after effects of this, that you can fall into toxicity. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would be very careful in terms of not repeating the same mistakes. But Kenneth needs help straight. Kenneth needs help, man. Kenneth needs help quickly and fast. Quickly and fast. Because literally, you cannot behave like this. And it's normalized. And the thing is, this is his normal behavior. This is his normal behavior. It's not because of Shorty. No, the insecurity. It's not just because of Shorty. He's insecure, and insecurity breeds this type of behavior where you feel like you have the right and to control someone, or have, you know, you get to tell someone how to do what to do and how to do it. Nah, man. From that episode 2, when she was sitting in the bed with him, I don't know if you guys remember. When she was sitting in the bed with him, I said, "Nah, man." I said, "Nah, baby." So you're going through all of this. He's taking bank statement. He's had your phone. Oh, baby, what's really going on? What's really going on? How does he have your bank statement? How does he? I mean, how does he have your phone on you? You mean he had your phone the whole entire time? So after the episode 2, when he had your phone, I was like, "What's going on here? What is really going on here?" Let me show you something, guys. I don't think I did it. I think maybe I thought I did a video. I don't do it. Let me show you my notes from episode 1, right? Because I think I was doing the previews with Dr. Nicole and stuff. Let me show you something. This is my notes from preview episode 1, right? Let me show you. Bro, it was scared. Bro, it's when you, I don't know. This is my notes from Put a Ring on It, season 1, right? Season 3, episode 1. This is my notes because I do my notes like this. This is how I do my notes, right? I said here, look, 2:30. Notice couple 1. He had his arm around her. She's probably more soft and more dependent. Other couples notice how nobody touches. A third couple even has hands on the inner leg. Da, 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 da. So obviously, this is how I do it. I break down the body language like this, right? It's how I see it. And it's how I break it down. I look at it and I go, wow, okay. But when I was looking at Kenneth, I don't know if I have the Kenneth one. Do I have the Kenneth one? Oh, I think that is the Kenneth one. I didn't write the name because I didn't think I knew their name at the time, right? When he had his arm around her, I was like, wait, so you have your arm around this girl. She hasn't got her arm around him. It was the only person, because everybody else was independent except Kenneth. Kenneth was the only one who has an arm around her. But anyway, I got to go, guys. I got to do another live somewhere else, but not here. But I will do Shay and Alfonso as well separately. But yeah. You got look at it. Everybody go to episode 1. Just go back to episode 1, and you'll realize just his arm around her. No one else is doing that. But when he's doing it, you can almost tell straight away. Straight away, you can almost tell that. Watch her body. She never leans in. If you notice, when Alfonso and Shay link arms, she leans in. When Charlie, even Charlie and Otis, which I mean, Otis, I don't like his baby anyway, but even when Otis and Charlie get close, there's a leaning in. It is only Shorty that when he puts an arm around her, there's never this leaning. There's never that leaning. It's always like this. So I was like, when I first, that first episode, when I saw that, I said, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. But, you know, I didn't want to be, you know, that guy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was not cute at all, that first episode. So yeah, I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it at all. Let me see if I can find my episode 2 notes, because that was also what I talked about as well. I was like, bro, I don't like what is going on here, bro. I don't like what's going on here. Let's see, where is episode 2? Yeah, look, okay, here we go. I put it on here. I was trying to find if I could find like episode 1, like Kenneth and Shorty. So Kenneth and Shorty is what I put. Look what this is my episode 1 notes. I actually never did this video. I thought I did a video. I never did a video. So I actually did it. Kenneth and Shorty. Now I realize his affection is an arm around, is an emotional leak from holding on to you. When said mesmerized by her beauty, I knew he was deeper than her. And then she wants to finally step up, etc., etc. Notice that she wants him to take whatever this, right? Ooh, body language. Removed his arm around her. Animated said, but I love her though. Power dynamics. He loves her more than she loves him. I believe that's what I said in episode 1. He made a joke about ladies leading, and I said I put that down as something to talk about. Talked about how he's mesmerized by her beauty. Yeah. So there was a lot of things I was seeing just in episode. That's episode 1. All that's just episode 1, bruv. That wasn't even episode 2. That was episode 1 of what he was doing. I was just looking at this. Like, this is mad. Like, bro, like, what's going on? Why am I seeing this in the first episode? Like, anyway, Shay. I mean, it's tight, man. It's tight. It's tight. You know. So we hope that Kenneth and Shorty, hey, boy. Anyway, listen, guys, we're going to talk about Shay and Alfonso later on. We're going to talk about it. So, but it's a bit of a Madeline right now, because Kenneth, we need you to change, man. Like, share, subscribe, guys. Click on the bell button for notification of uploads. We'll see you again. Someone said, Coach, your notes are written like scripts. Yeah, listen, listen. That's what I'm trying to say to you. When I write these stuff, it's mad. Like, I've been writing it down. I'm like, what is going on here? Why am I seeing it like this? This doesn't make sense. Sometimes that's how I do my thoughts and stuff. But yeah, Kenneth really was doing the most, man. Man. Yep. Guys, we'll see you soon. We'll see you soon. We'll see you soon. Otis is another one. Anyway, we'll talk about that when we get another chance. We're going to talk about that later on. Bye, guys.